Mango Bay, Mango Bay.
Mango Bay.
Mango Bay. Oh. Mango Bay. Mango Bay. Mango Bay. Your Mango Bay.
For the exclusive content, don't forget to join our Patreon at patreon.com/MangoBay.
Mango.
Bay. Oh, welcome to Mango Bay.
Mango fucking Bay, dude. How the fuck are you doing, dude?
Mango Bay, your one-stop shop for brown recklessness, brilliance, idiocy. It's all here for you.
We're
What's going
two
on?
best boys who are stand-up comics in New York who bring the vibe and the thoughts. And the thoughts, of course.
And thoughts.
How y'all doing, dude? We got some Patreon stuff. What is that? What is that?
Wait, what is the Patreon? Oh, that's that thing where people get like bonus audio episodes, Mango Bay After Dark.
They
right?
do. They absolutely do.
There's that other thing.
They get an early release. Well, we're about to cook something even better than that.
We are.
In a second,
It's coming
so fucking
soon.
stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for
Little
that.
mango bites from the episode that are only exclusive
also
to
you get the first 50
motherfucking-
archived episodes
Hello.
as well. Amazing. Yeah. Oh, and what else you
Anything
get?
more, I think, than
Mango
illegal.
Bay
bro.
roast the news
Yeah,
as well.
we literally
Holy
just
shit.
take news articles and we just fucking roast them a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh, I feel good.
Put a little lime on them, a little bit of chili powder.
Achar on
you
that
know?
bitch,
yeah.
dude.
It's pretty good. Sign up for the Patreon. We got a couple new Patrons this week, specifically Shaduk Sheikh. Okay, buddy, we see you.
I see you, Mughal Empire.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
truly.
Jesus Christ.
And
That's
then
an invading name.
Doesn't get more desi than this. Jennifer Gonzalez, Goa, maybe.
Jennifer
Gonzalez. Gonzalez.
From Goa. Okay.
I'm just assuming from Goa.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you guys for fucking with us. Stay tuned. We got a lot of exciting Patreon stuff coming down the line. I am your host, Pranav Behari at Pranav. This is my co-host. You know
Usama
him.
Siddiquee.
At
Usama
Usama
stands
Stands
up,
Up.
formerly known as Usama bin Laden.
Yeah, let's get into some jungly shit.
Bro, today's story, funny stuff, man. Today's interesting story for you.
Oh, me?
For me, no, as in like what happened in my life.
Oh, yeah.
My mom, who
shit.
we talk about, I think once every 30 seconds
Yeah.
on this podcast.
15,
It's a
30.
deep. I don't do therapy. I literally just talk about my mom.
This is it.
She somehow, maybe on a Facebook post that I post,
Oh.
she clicked on Mango
The most
Bay.
boomer friendly of all the platforms.
That's what I'm
where
saying.
She's
It's
gonna
the
find
biggest
out.
link, you know.
Yeah.
It's like literally four
The
boomers.
fonts are huge, yeah.
It's like 19 meters wide.
Storm the
Whoa!
Capitol.
But it was on my Mango Bay logo. It's like
Yeah.
Facebook. The fuck was that about? She clicked on it, and it was literally like her doing ketamine. She went into like a 6-episode run of Mango Bay.
Wow.
And she called me. She's like,
She went into a mango hole.
a mango. And now she's a fucking legit fan of the
I was
podcast.
terrified because, my mom is like a little bit more westernized than
Yeah,
yours.
yeah.
And so when she found out, she immediately knew where to find it. And she listened. She's like, "You're talking the ejaculate.
All this cum.
All this talk, and I can't listen. I don't like." And she put it away.
Yeah.
Your mom.
She's kind of like, well, if you come, I'll go. You know, like she doesn't really get it, you know? So she's hearing she likes the vibe. She's a vibe person, right?
Right.
She's seeing us having a good time.
Yeah.
She knows we're yelling about stuff. She asked me a question. She's like, Usama, what is this thing you say, like, fuck? And I'm like, oh, mom, fuck is a word that is, like, really bad. And she's like, I had a feeling. And I'm like, okay, this is where we're at.
I thought so.
I had a
hunch.
feeling. But my mom's the kind of mom where she doesn't know anything really intense.
Yeah.
But if you call her stupid, she's gonna beat you
She'll
up.
beat the shit
So
out
she
of you,
has
yeah.
a couple of fuck for her is butthole cocksucker.
Right, yeah,
It's the
yeah.
same level.
So the more
But
esoteric-
butthole cocksucker could be my friend's name. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's my mom.
Exactly.
So she's like, I get it. But I'm like, mom, she's still at like episode 50 plus when we stopped coming on my dad and act outs.
Oh, yeah. That was
she
a big phase at Mango Bay.
If she goes to episode 38, then a whole 5-minute thing, we're like, hey, dad,
Yeah.
fuck me in the butt,
Yeah.
LOL. I don't think it's gonna really bode well.
No. Well, just
But-
make sure your dad knows about the pod.
Who the fuck? Does he know about that pod?
I mean,
You think an Indian dad could look
I
at his
think
son
after
in
a
the
certain
face?
point, they just are just like they just turn it off, and then they just totally repress it all
You think
immediately.
it's like the Italian boy who sees his dad kill somebody at the butcher shop and
yeah,
just walks away
and with
slowly.
over the gabagool or whatever, like the Sopranos.
and just walks away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And so my mom is a huge ass fan, and now she's like,
That
"Yeah."
was the wildest part to hear is that she loves it.
And she'll casually drop like huge fan shit. Like, yeah, so I was just sitting down, and then 8 hours later, I started my day. I'm like, Mom, we need to have a talk about your incredible fandom for Mango Bay.
Because your boy's hungry over
your
here.
boy hungry
Put some
out here.
food on the table, Nargis. What are you doing?
Get on that Patreon, bitch. You love your son or not? So it's that level of intensity. I think it's ruining her life too. I think she's like not eating right. You know, I think
This happens with people when they first get into the podcast.
start-
Nobody's ever like, hey, I listened to your pod. I really liked it. It's always like, hey, I just found your podcast and I just listened to 15 episodes. I'm like,
And you know
wow.
what? Thank you. I just divorced my wife.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much, man. Go back. We changed people's lives. My mom hasn't eaten in days. She's on a hunger strike or something.
Yeah.
And I get it, Mom. Because here's the thing also, like she's seeing me in my full form, who I actually am. To a mother, seeing the actual nature of their son should be
that's the fascination. For her.
LSD.
It's some kind of bizarre porn. For
Really,
her, actually.
it's mom porn.
Yeah.
Because they want the actual son.
Yeah. It's exactly.
So I told my mom,
right.
I'm like, Mom, you understand everything? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, and you still love me? She's like, yeah. Then I'm like, then you didn't understand everything. Because there's the only way you can understand everything and still be like, yeah, I have a good love for my son.
Yeah, dude.
So-
I think it's amazing. We're gonna have her on soon, aren't
That's
we?
what, of course, dude. She's coming on.
It's happening now.
She's
She's like,
gonna-
I'll be honored.
You know, and she's like, I'll do the cum stories too. Ask me about my past, you know? So I think she's ready to get jungly.
I'll be at Secret Group next week. 2 weekends headlining. I need to plug.
You know?
Also, I'm starting my own podcast.
I think she'll be a super good time, and I think she'll come with a vibe. So that's jungly story of the week.
That is quite the one.
That's
I have
my
to
mom,
say.
baby. Hey, listen, join this Patreon. Don't go to episode 5. All right.
That's the thing about Mango Bay fans is they'll love us. They'll be like, I just binge watched 20 episodes. Then they'll get to like episode 26 where we make fun of something that's sacred to them, you know? Like, I can't believe you made fun of Coldplay. Fuck you guys, right?
Dude, and his username is like 2 lines.
Yeah.
You know? Vashwakanda
Yeah, exact.
Dot.
Lot of dots in there.
And he's like, you know, guys, you guys lost me.
Yeah.
Because it's always something you say.
I know.
Some sort of Hindu sort of mishap or something.
know, it is.
Actually, Ram did not do that on page 13. He did that on page 15.
Stay in your lane, brown American guys.
Dude.
You're not really the real thing, okay?
You know, and then I say one Muslim thing, they're like, LOL, Usama saying anything about
know.
Islam. So they really be hating on our religiosity. And to that I say, fuck you. All right, guys whose avatar are a scimitar, fuck you. We see you, but we love you. Keep going.
We do kind of love you.
That's our jungly story of the week, dude.
That is our
What's
jungly story of
our
the week.
next segment? We got the fucking brown of the week. This one is funny.
Okay, our brown
This
of the
one
week
is funny.
is such a little bitch. Such a little bitch.
Hey, you just said that. I don't know. I'm still
Oh,
trying to-
my bad.
Okay, I'm trying to get the bookings out
just,
here, dude.
Just count the previous 3 hours of conversation we've been having.
Wow, Pranav, I don't know why you go so hard into this. I totally leave you hanging. Wow, Pete, that's not okay, dude. He's a brother of ours. So
We're talking about Veer Das.
So if you don't know Vidas, it means you like
must
good
be a fan of comedy. Yeah, you must be a fan of good comedy.
He's just a guy who is very broad Indian. He started comedy in India, kind of became huge in
Broad
India.
and very short.
He's very stout. He does
Yeah.
stout comedy. He brought comedy, kind of the Indian style, what he does in India.
It's
to
not really
America.
Indian style.
Whatever
That's
it
my
is.
problem.
You're right. It's not anything really.
Yeah.
He just got famous.
Yeah.
Because he started it basically.
Because he was the first guy to do
First
it.
guy
and
to
look,
do it.
this guy, he's just like the Anglophone elite of India. That's his whole thing. That's who he appeals to.
Yeah.
For them to do you know about Veer Das? Veer Das
If
is
you-
so
if
good.
you're an Indian-
Veer Das is very good.
If you're an Indian, you say years like years.
Yeah.
You suck.
You suck.
You fucking suck, and you fucking drink tea at 4 with your pinky out, dude.
Okay,
You know?
specific.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
4 that's
I-
a normal tea time. Okay, to be fair.
4 tea at
4
4.
is a foot tea. That's a fairly normal
Get
tea
some energy
time.
back in. That's fine. The idea is, so he did this thing in his run in New York Comedy Festival, and then he ended this show,
At the Kennedy Center. in
Kennedy
DC.
Center, with this sort of speech called "Two Indias."
Two Indias.
You know,
It was just such gibberish.
it was called "Two Indias, Zero Lefts." You know what I'm
Zero
saying?
left. Which, I mean, he's never even when I watch his specials on like YouTube and stuff, when he's in front of his people in India who again are the elite, right? These are like the South Delhi style elite people,
Sure,
all
sure.
Anglophone, all want to be Western,
Yes,
right?
yes.
All want to be very Western. Even they're not laughing at his bits.
Sure,
You
sure.
know what I mean? They're just there like observing him do the pantomime of
and,
whiteness.
and you know, it's so funny that it was at the Kennedy Center because he basically did ask not what you do for your country, ask what your. What is
Yeah.
that? He did that phrase, but the entire
Yeah,
set.
there were- yeah.
That was what he did. He just changed the words up.
And it was reversed.
Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. He just did the Kennedy speech, but like
it was pure
it was,
gibberish.
it was sometimes I see the goat and sometimes I
No,
fuck
he's
the
like,
goat.
I come from an India where the elevator goes up
and when
and
the
we ride
elevator
escalator goes down.
where the white man takes the stairs, but the brown man runs down them.
Runs down that. It was just pure gibberish.
What?
It just kept going like that.
What?
He's like, I come from an India where we eat goat, but then we also fuck the goat.
And then we eat the own demands. India.
It was pure. And listen,
And
I'm all
then there's
about-
like one guy like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel this. It's-
And it was. I think it was
goat-
all
the goat
like.
thing.
I think it was all like. Again, like Anglophone, hardcore Indians, not like necessarily
dude,
Indian Americans, because Indian Americans are exposed to good comedy
Sure,
in general.
sure.
So it's hard for me to believe that they'd go there to see him.
Then again, there's like the left-wing guilt that also comes from like, oh, I can't say any Indian comedy is bad because, you know, it's an
Maybe,
Indian man
yeah,
doing it.
maybe.
So there's that a little
The
bit.
thing is like I'm all about you should. Here's why I think he's kind of a little bitch is because I think this guy just basks in the Western gaze.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Also, the way his hair, the hairstyle is also a Western gaze back, like that sort of good goatee. He looks like
true.
like a magician.
Yeah. Oh, you
He's
mean
like-
Western gay?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. G-A-Y.
Okay, I was saying G-A-Z-E.
No, I'm talking about gaze.
Yeah, I was like that gaze. The gaze of Western gaze.
Here's the thing. He really fits the bill, and he fucking they love him for it. And that's how you get money. You get money on that level by fitting a bill.
I just hated it because I'm like, you're just trying to legitimate yourself by shitting on your own country, right? Like,
Right.
you should definitely be critiquing India, right? That's
What
not like
was
it's
it?
beyond.
What was the first line? He's like, I live in India where we eat samosas in the day and,
And then
gang
we rape,
at night."
women at night. And I was like, what?
Whoa!
What the fuck are you talking about?
And then during the dusk, we also eat samosas while raping. It's like, what are you saying?
It was just like the perfect lame, wishy-washy, like semi-virtue signaling, like rubbish.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, that's just there to like, you know, he's trying to be that guy now, right? He's trying to demonstrate some gravitas, but your ideas are trash, right? And now you're just here in the Kennedy Center, like, hey guys, look at me. I'm gonna be the voice of critiquing India. I'm a fucking freedom fighter, man.
That one line where he's like,
I'm a rebel, man.
He's like, I live in India where yellow is brown and gray is white.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
white is gray and magenta is
Yeah,
fuchsia.
he's doing like color riffs. I was like, what?
This is really good.
None of this makes sense.
Look at all the English words I know, huh?
There's so many better like Indian comedians in India. I'm like, why couldn't Veer Das have gotten locked up for
That's what
being a
I'm saying.
hack?
Well, dude, I went to India to do comedy, and they all were like, "Yeah, this guy's fucking hack." Blah blah.
Right.
Blah. He was an elitist on an English level, where like when Hindi comics were coming up and trying to do Hindi comedy, he was like, "That's not real comedy, man."
Right,
So he was like creating the elitist language from the very beginning. Those guys were so powerful in their feeling that they just got fans regardless.
Exactly.
'Cause
And
when you-
they're, I mean, you see some of those guys, they're fucking funny.
Unreal,
These are like
dude.
act out.
They got
kings.
real heavy-
They got some writing. They're
And bro,
just
like, an Indian comic thinks in Hindi, bro. Like that's
Right.
how he thinks in his own jokes. So you're gonna undo his language. So the idea of his erasure was like because he's like, oh, real comedy is English. It didn't work, first of all, because
Yeah.
the natural India of us, we're just fucking, we can't be held down, and so we just came up, and then this whole new style came out,
Right.
Of that.
But that's not
era.
him. He's trying to take like being a Western style guy to India, and that's like his kind of form of it. And he's like, I'm, you know,
He's
my
one step
speech is
away.
being suppressed.
He's-
and
he's- he's
he,
one-
he needs to start on the funny though before he jumps like Dave Chappelle. You know, Dave Chappelle, very funny before he started acting like America's guidance counselor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Pull up your pants.
Yeah, pull up. Yeah, listen up to me, right? And Veer Das skipped over the part where you be funny,
Yeah,
right? Where
yeah.
you be like iconically fucking hilarious.
He's one step away from being like, you know, when I was born in Daytona, Ohio, it was
Well,
rough
I
for me.
did read up on him. He went to like theater school in America. And
That's
I'm like,
what it
that's
is.
what it
That's
is.
what
You're
it
a
is.
fucking
You're a
little
theater-
theater
you're a Broadway bitch.
You're a little theater kid. Is
Yeah,
your problem.
Yeah.
And it sounded like this guy was like doing open mics and like, you know,
Hustling
getting
it.
himself dirty in clubs or whatever, right? No, he just went. He probably has some kind of pull in India, right? Comes from like a wealthy family, some shit like
The
that.
wealthy
And
family
then-
really got into the comedy beginning, you know? Like a lot of those wealthy people.
Who's the other one?
Aditi Mittal got huge off her, you know, a lot of money in the beginning.
Right.
A Mittal, you know what I'm saying? That's a fucking name.
That is a name. I don't know if she's one of those mythos,
Yeah.
but she might be.
Yeah, I mean, it's Brown Succession in her fucking
Yeah,
family.
it is. It
Jesus
is straight.
Christ.
She's like cousin Greg of the Mittal family.
Roy, which is also a big fucking Indian name.
It's a Bengali name. True indeed.
Kendall Roy's Bengali.
Shiv Roy.
Shiv Roy.
Bengali.
Shiva Roy. So it's a fascinating thing how famous you can get if you don't do jokes, you know? Just the level that they give you.
Yeah,
know?
I mean, in his case, it's like let me just shit on the country. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, let me just shit on this place. Let me kind of like bask in this Western approval of this.
He started with the gang rape line. You couldn't have put that at the end
So
of the
he opened with gang rape.
That was the beginning of the speech.
That's like how he
dude.
launched into it.
I come from two gang
I
rapes.
think it was like
you know?
the second thing. The first was like India's. I come from two Indias. One where we eat pakoras, and in India where we eat samosas.
Also gang rape.
Women get gang raped. I was like,
Fuck the way gang rape.
What's, are you okay, bro? Are you okay?
I come from India where the trains run every day, but
Yeah.
my dad puts his finger in my butt. It's like, what is this, dude?
It was total
This
gibberish.
is not a dichotomy.
It was
You're not doing
pure
dichotomies
gibberish,
here,
dude.
buddy. These
It
are
was
just
pure-
random phrases.
He was like, they say they like to eat vegetables, but then they run over farmers. I'm like, this doesn't make any fucking sense,
dude,
man.
He's just showing Americans that he knows how to use conjunctions.
Yeah,
he's like,
it's-
look at my grammar.
Yeah, it's,
I can do grammar. Anyway, listen, we don't want to beat the dead horse or the dead goat with
yeah.
this guy.
It's a place
We don't
where
fuck, you don't fuck a dead goat
we
with
eat goat during the day, but then we beat it to death.
this tonight.
We beat a dead goat at night.
He has some holy powder. He just fucking throws it up. Ah.
Yo, man.
So anyway, listen, man. If you're gonna be a famous, you have a responsibility to not be the worst comic, in the world.
That's the thing. It's
Yeah.
like it's literally the worst.
It's
literally
there's so
the
many funny
worst.
Indians in India. There's so many fucking hilarious ass killers.
Yeah.
that somehow are nowhere near the fame of this guy. But he somehow has pandered to the right amount, the perfect bullseye
It's just like
pander,
pure pandering.
bullseye pander, and which is
The thing is, like on the level of his comedy, he bombs in front of his own audiences.
saying, dude.
You know,
his special where he was like, Mumbai, London was the hook.
Right.
I'm in Mumbai, JK, London. We'll be J fucking K again. I'm in Mumbai again. This is comedy. Listen, we don't want to hit too much on this guy. Just, book us,
Here, we'd like to open for you.
In short, can we open for you, dude? In conclusion, can we open for your bitch ass? 2 openers. One skinny as a rock. And another fat as a bitch.
is that me?
I'm the fat one, dude.
No, man, am I getting fat again?
You're not getting fat, dude. You're hot, dude.
Should we ask our guest? We got a
Yeah.
guest today.
Today we got a guest, dude.
Alingon, Alingon, do you think I'm fat?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah, bro. Coming in hot.
Two
Yes.
fucking
Mango
famished
fire.
Bengali bitches.
Yeah, dude, we were born from the famine, die in the famine. We have the fucking hilarious Alingon Mitra
Hello.
on the fucking pod. Dude, rising fucking star, doing his fucking thing. What the fuck is
Hilarious,
going on?
dude. Very, very funny guy.
Your Das came to fucking whoop our ass.
Yeah.
How you doing, bro? Thanks for coming on the pod, dude.
I'm good. Thank you guys for
Dressed
having
in
me.
the
I
motherfucking
know. Really,
Rishi vibes,
he
bro.
really overdid it with the Indian stuff. Alingon also brought samosas with him.
I brought samosas, but then I asked you about it. Usama was very supportive in the text chain when I was like, "Hey, should I bring samosas?" And then you were like, "We don't have time for that."
That's it. We don't have time for that
I
shit.
didn't understand
and I'm not
that.
wrong because the samosas have remained untouched. But
Well, I didn't
if
want
you
to
wanna do
open
a
it
little
while you guys were
ceremonious-
ranting about Veer, but
3 guys, 1 samosa type
100%, dude.
well, okay. I mean, we can continue talking while I'm opening this.
Yeah,
No, this
no,
is
we can
good
do that.
porn. This is, we had a foreplay a
Alingon,
little bit.
hilarious. One of the
Hilarious.
funniest dudes around. Definitely
100,
one of the funniest.
100.
Indians. How many times have you been on Conan?
Like 8 times?
I've been on it once.
Okay.
So it felt like 8
but
times,
I've,
I guess.
I've done other late night spots. So maybe
Alingon,
that's what's going on.
you can't hide. You
take
can't. Here we go.
Thanks, bro.
The only way this would be more Indian is if we ate it and then he started beating us with the samosa. Please. All right, here we go.
Cheers.
Hit it to Conan,
Cheers.
our favorite Indian.
Okay.
It works for me.
I think it's good.
Look.
It's doing the trick.
I needed something to keep you guys quiet for a little while because you guys are you guys are
Don't
high
shut the
energy
fuck
guys.
up.
We're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
loud boys.
Yeah, you're energy people.
know?
And I feel like I'm more of a
So this is your-
soft.
this is your way of
this is me
roofing us with the
muffling you
samosa?
guys. Yeah, yeah.
It's working, actually.
Pass
It
me the
worked
chutney
really-
in that case.
Do you want some chutney?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, the other one. The
The tamarind,
Obviously.
it's hard too.
Oh my god, this is. I want people listening to this to not just be like, they're just dipping samosas right now. Why are they? After like all that energy, just to be like, okay.
This is gonna power the next 5 act outs.
Oh my god, this is great.
So I need act out strength. Requires nutrients. Holy shit, this is good.
Yeah,
bro.
such good samosas, right? Yeah. What do you guys look for in a samosa?
This is really good.
usually it's the spice level of the insides.
Oh, I don't really spice level
the dough is important.
dough and like the almost like I almost want to say creaminess of the insides is what matters to me. I like it when it's like packed well.
A little soft. Sometimes they don't cook the potatoes right. And it gets a little hard, and that's not fun.
Yeah. Does your family do samosas?
100%. My mom puts it's some liver inside it.
Liver.
It's fucking unreal. She puts like it's called kolija in Bengali.
Okay.
And so puts like aloo, potato, and kolija.
Wow.
And it's fucking unreal, dude. It's unreal, and it's like because the texture of that really complements the inner side of the samosa.
my mom will do it, but she'll put like gobi, like
Yeah. Vegan. Y'all all vegetarian, right?
no, we're not.
Okay.
No, we grew up eating meat.
We do the gobi, whatever.
Yeah.
That's good, bro. I'm fucking.
This is great.
I'm gonna take a nap.
It's so sedated, you guys.
You won, bitch. You won.
Nothing makes me sleep harder than Indian food.
Dude, samosas like an Indian roofies, man. I'm just like,
I can't do. I mean, I've said this before, but I can't do Indian food for lunch. Otherwise, it's the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah, right.
You know,
truly
it's
is.
just like
It's a heavy.
whenever
food.
you have Indian food, you're done.
It's 100% true.
Except for a samosa. Samosa I can do.
I took a
whatever.
girl
This is heavy, man.
I took a
It's
girl out
heavy.
once to an Indian restaurant during the day, and she wanted to fuck afterwards, and I literally couldn't do it. I was like, I can't move.
Give me 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Need some tea.
I'm
need a
asleep.
walk.
You can ride and maybe
Yeah.
just ride it and then bounce, but I'm not. I can't move. I cannot move. I'm always wondering about your Indianness because I see you a lot doing spots. I see you in the circuit. You have some Indian jokes, but in a way that like a lot of other Indian comics that I've Indianed with or browned with or desied with, never really desied with you. So I'm wondering the level of, because right now you're coming in like you're a white guy in ice in disguise. You know, like the level of brown
I feel like
right now.
I look like I'm like a Bollywood star, and you guys look like I'm the bouncers or like the bodyguards right now. Yeah,
We're the gundas.
Just like
We're
in
the gundas.
black.
We're in all black.
Yeah.
Kalash, get him.
Level of brownness. Yeah, we haven't desied like that.
Yeah, so I don't really know how much you dive into the culture. Do you know how to speak Bengali? I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know the level.
we met at Desi Fest.
A little bit, but we were like in different sides. It was like I couldn't really connect.
And
We were in
different
different sides
sides
of the table.
Are
Yeah, like
you
they-
of the room.
I didn't.
It was a
I
room.
was getting the daciness of everyone, but I was like, is Alingon even here right now?
Oh,
Does he think he's at Arby's?
I mean, I've watched clips of the pod, and I feel like it might be a running thread, but I just assumed you guys hated me.
What are you?
Because
What are you talking about?
What episode is this?
This is like
This happens all the time.
150 or something.
This happens multiple times.
I
People
know
think you
this
hate
is
them.
but this is why I'm saying it's a running thread. I feel like everybody who comes on is like, oh, it took a while for me to get on this.
Everyone has
literally-
a feeling about it.
I don't understand it,
And I'm just like,
bro.
the last clip I saw was Gracie.
Yeah.
And I didn't know she was Indian.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, they're having like white girls on now.
It's the same ennui that everyone brings to the pod.
Yeah. I
You
saw
know?
I saw
It's
Danish
angst
complaining
about
about
it,
it. I just assumed there was some sort of like.
listen, you're an
you know.
exception to this, but some of these Indians came on too soon, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the actual truth: is that we didn't do guests for a long time.
Yeah, we didn't do guests
We
for, like,
just
our
wanted to
first
stay in our
100
space, and then
episodes.
we were like, well, we want to bring people on because they bring in other ideas, and that ignites us.
Of course.
And then we're also like, we started doing a thing. We're like, we'll just bring every Indian,
Yep.
every day. See, then we're also like, okay, now we want one who can bring the vibe, who can bring in good energy. So it's like it's not anything besides we're trying to do it for the pod. It's not a humanistic thing. Like, oh, we hate Alingon, we don't want him on the pod. So thank you for coming in like 19 different Indian things to show.
Yeah, I know. Just be like, I am Indian. Samosa,
I know before
chutney.
this, I played harmonium at Union Square in an
Yeah.
orange shawl just to really.
I bring up my harmonium.
Harmonium. Amar Shonar Bangla. No, bro, we're fans of you. We fucking love your comedy.
Yeah, I always thought you were like one of the funniest dudes
Yeah,
around.
we think you're one of the guys.
I was
the
always
rising
very intimidated
stars.
by you though, because I'm younger in the game than you guys, so I always saw you as and you TV
I'm
credits
not
and
younger
stuff.
than Alingon. I saw him coming up. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like when I was coming up in Boston, not Boston, sorry, in 2 years or 1 year into Dallas.
Okay.
There was talk of him winning the Boston Comedy Festival, which is like this fucking big thing in Boston. You won it. I remember your name just traveled everywhere. Like, oh, this fucking brown guy won the Boston Comedy Festival.
That's
Which
cool.
blew everyone's mind. And I was in Dallas. I heard about it.
Yeah.
You know, I guess you went up. You were like, use guys. And they were like, oh, this guy's amazing. I don't know what you did, what Jedi fucking mind tricks you played.
Yeah.
But then that's when you're on the map. And I was like, Alingon's amazing.
Interesting.
And then I kept seeing you. I'm like, yeah, this guy's always got new jokes, always fucking bringing the new ideas. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But then I went to Pranav. I was like, we hate him though, so we can't.
Yeah,
say that.
that's-
But we're all-
He's really good.
I assumed,
but
I assumed one of you had beef. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know which one.
I'm the Hindu, so definitely not me.
Dude, I guess I did hate you. I guess. I guess it's me. Just
process of elimination at this point.
I think I've only really interacted with you like fairly recently.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Yeah, we like. I feel like we actually haven't crossed paths.
Yeah.
I
Usama
feel like every
and
time I
I
walk away from him, I'm like, what a
so
fun
I think the
time.
answer
with-
is clear. Okay, the answer
I
is
have
very
avoided
clear
you
who it
guys.
is.
To be fair, because I hate you.
Yeah, it is the real thing. Every time I walk away from Alingon, I'm like, yeah, that was a fun conversation with friends. And he must have been like, what a Machiavellian bitch. What is going on here? No, I respect you, bro. I love you. I think you're awesome.
All right, I just came for the validation.
That's amazing.
I'm good now.
And, I do
I
want
take
to kill
this
you.
off. I'm
better
just
than
wearing
TV
regular
credits.
clothes.
But it's gonna be weird when I stab you right now. Ironically,
No. Level of brownness. I think it's a good. I think it's a good topic. What do you want to know? And I'll
I don't know how.
Is this a test?
No, not even. How Indian
all.
do you regard yourself?
Very much so.
Okay, white
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. But the thing I used to have like conversations, but it's very hard to decipher. You ever read that book, The Indians? It breaks down like Indian culture by different. It's like a
It sounds
sociological.
like a book a white guy would read to kill Indians. How do I find out about the Indians? Here we go.
Okay, it's like a blueprint. The Indians.
The Indians. The Indians.
Because I'd always talk to other people about like, oh, how like Indian are you? And like growing up in Massachusetts, there's like a certain subculture of like Indian American, and then like you guys have your thing. But I just assumed the thing I had was what everybody had. But then when I started talking to people when I came out to New York, it's like, oh, everybody's got something different. But I still think there's like certain things that you got to be able to be like, all right, we did this, and that's pretty Indian.
Sure,
You know?
sure. Like there's a couple of like universal ideas.
Universal
Strict
stuff.
parents might be like one of those
Strict
almost
parents. I feel like we have like the potluck dinners every month,
universal. Right.
and then things like that where it's just like, all right, Indian food, Indian movies, just talking in the language, that sort of stuff. I feel like those are like the checkpoints.
I feel
Right,
like
yeah.
I like the idea of you thinking that it's a white thing that you didn't realize it's white. Like, oh yeah, every Indian family gets a dog. You know what I'm saying? Called Spike. Right, guys? You grew up in Boston.
Grew up in Central Mass, Worcester.
Bengali family.
Bengalis. Yeah,
That's why I liked you in the beginning. I was like Bengali. When I found that out, I was so happy.
Well, do you make this distinction between like Bangladeshi Bengali and like Indian Bengali?
I'm half both. So my dad's from Kolkata.
Okay.
So nationalistically, I'm half, and then I'm Bangladeshi with my mom's side, but I'm full Bengali ethnically.
Bangladeshis can be touchy about that. I was dating
Yes.
a Bangladeshi
Yes.
woman.
Yes.
Very
and
much so, yeah.
I remember like first I was like, yeah, you're Bengali. She's like, Bangladeshi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
White bitch. Yeah.
Okay.
The way you say that.
Yeah.
It is that. It is
Into
that.
colonialism much,
Right.
huh?
I'll get some
Artificial
DMs.
borders.
I'll get some DMs from like some guy named like Mashraf Haq or some shit, some super ass Bengali dude.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, "What are you then? What are you? Tell me, because I will know." And so I'm like, "Okay, listen, Mohammedan or whatever his name is, both."
Mohammedan. Did you just call him the British term for a Muslim? Mohammedan.
That's how.
Okay.
That's how Howard's coming at me, trying to colonize my colony. That's
He's
what
not just Muslim. He's a Mohammedan. You know what I'm saying?
they'll come at me, and it's a very intense thing. But I'm like, I am half. I grew up in Bangladesh mostly. When I was going to Bangladesh, like that's where I was like every summer I'd go there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm Bangladeshi in here.
Yeah.
Kolkata culture is not. I've only been there once in my life, so I'm Bangladeshi in my soul, but technically I'm Indian and Bengali. And Bangladeshi.
How did your mom meet your dad?
My dad was a genius who fucking got taken by the.
Genius at
Bengali.
getting pussy.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Found the G spot in negative 5 seconds, bro.
Yeah.
He was so smart that they just brought him over to like a Bengali place.
No, but how did he get your mom?
His physics partner in lab.
It was like a
this?
friends. I know
Yeah.
his parents' love story. Now we've told it so many times.
Mintu
on
uncle,
here.
yeah, Mintu uncle was my mom's cousin, who was my dad's friend, and they just fucking locked in. And he's like,
Because it's still like cross countries, right?
right, but he was living in Bangladesh doing work. He was like in college,
okay.
masters. And the uncle was like, "I got a smart bitch for you." My mom was like, "How smart?" And then
I
he's like, "I'll
gotcha.
show you."
Okay.
And so that's where both that comes from.
Yeah,
but you're
yeah.
full Bengali. You're like full.
I mean, full. Again, what does that mean? But yes, I would say my parents.
Full on, full frontal Bengali, right?
Yeah.
Full fish, Bengali.
Full
Head
fish.
to tail.
That's what we call ourselves.
Not a
Full-
bone spared.
Full fish, bitch.
My parents are like Bengali, but they grew up in Nagpur, which is in Maharashtra.
Right.
But culturally, yeah, we're Bengali. I think my grandfather crossed like from Bangladesh when like the war happened.
Oh, okay.
Oh, got you.
Yeah,
Got you. Smart shit.
Yeah.
Do you speak
Good
Bengali?
idea.
I
It was
mean,
definitely
it's called smart.
It's
Yeah.
called not getting killed.
Yes.
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah. I think it was pretty bad for them because we used to have like land, and now it's not.
Also,
there.
y'all were Hindu, right?
We're
That's
Hindu,
big.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yes.
maybe fleeing a little bit of sectarian violence, a little bit, maybe.
Oh, I'm sure.
For
of it.
sure.
Yeah.
There's a little tinge of that, maybe.
Yes.
I don't know if you call it sectarian violence. It's a genocide.
No, I think it was still a misunderstanding
Just a
between
little-
two.
You know, the sectarian
guys,
violence
just a
going
little-
on between the
just a little-
Jews and the Germans back in
Dude,
1938.
The Holocaust for me is called the hullabaloo. All right, that's what I call it. Jesus. So yeah, you bounced out of there. Do you speak Bengali with your parents?
I do. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know this. I didn't know the level.
Yeah. I don't know why we haven't.
That's what I'm saying. It's on me.
I'm not Bengali, so I can't even participate in this.
Right? I mean, it's like Indian shit. I just never knew. I guess I never got around to asking you.
Yeah.
I should have said like good set. Also, do you speak Bengali? Anyway, I'll see you later. You speak Bengali. That's fine. And then it's like the Kolkata accent, right?
Well,
So
again, my parents grew up in Nagpur, so even that I feel like it's like we've got a little bit of like Hindi Bengali.
Yeah.
So it's not even like what I feel like when you hear people from Kolkata talk to my parents, they look down on the Bengali Kolkata looks down on like every Bengali anyway.
Bengalis have it's an inception of racism.
Yes.
Very specific.
Yeah.
And it ends in your family again. I feel like. That's fucking interesting, man. I had no concept, and I guess it's on me to even assume that you didn't know. I was just like, oh, Alingon doesn't know. He does. He does a lot of jokes that have a lot of writing in them. Must mean he doesn't have any good brown values. He's a thinking man.
He's too literate
He's
to
too
speak
literate.
Bengali.
He knows English too well to know Bengali as well. Yeah, I'm sorry. You suck. Interesting. Okay, very, very cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna come in with wearing an American flag.
Well, I do
with
think
a gun strapped around your neck.
I do think like growing up in America, I feel like Indians, for the most part, had to choose like a race.
Sure.
And Indian wasn't one of the options.
And you're in Massachusetts.
It's like either white or black.
White or black.
Ain't no
yeah.
blacks. Where
And I'm
you
like
from?
clearly white.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like you're black.
I don't even know.
That's you beatbox. You are. That is
Fair.
a ridiculous
Which means that
statement.
I'm Swedish now all of a sudden. Because those are the ones who are beatboxing. I grew up with so many Indians. I grew up like just all Indians because I grew up in Plano. So I chose more white. And don't let the decibel level fool you.
It is a big factor in this.
Like you sound like you would disrupt a movie, you know? Like sometimes the way you talk sometimes is like very, very white, but most of the time I'm like, this guy belongs in Magic Johnson Theater, you know, ruining Big Mama's House.
I'm the
5 or
white guy
whatever.
being like, this is a lame movie.
Yeah,
This
ruining The Conjuring or some shit, you know?
Yeah.
I guess a mix of both. I did have white and black friends.
Well, no, it's not. But it's not white and black friends. I'm just saying, like, what
do you identify? What is your patois, basically?
What I'm saying is that I literally grew up with so many Indians that I don't even conceive of that. Like he grew up with a lot of like.
Well, so did I. But like I feel like the Indians I grew up with were
I know what you're talking
were
about.
white.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right. So it's I guess black. I guess if we're gonna go like one area, it's gonna be black.
What did you listen to growing up?
Video game music. I was a weird kid, man. I'm
Video
telling
game
you.
music.
So Asian, East
So
Asian.
I was,
he identified
back
as,
East Asian.
as Japanese, actually.
With like Legend of Zelda.
He had a weird
Yeah.
assimilation story,
I'm
actually.
weird as fuck, dude.
Okay.
I didn't jack out until I was in college, man. It was a whole thing.
Is that a Muslim thing or?
It was like
I also think Muslim I associate with black as well.
yes, because the 5%ers, right? There's like a
I just don't know any like white Muslim people.
Right.
Right. That's an interesting. I guess there was a more blackness. There was some Kanye in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you got me. There's some Kanye in there.
Yeah.
We dressed up as Kanye. You know what? You're right. I'm thinking
I was
about
in
it.
blackface.
Yeah, I was in
Yeah,
blackface.
like I did, yeah.
And they thought I was Sri Lankan. I was like, no, this is a
Step and
blackface.
fetch it, you know?
Yeah, I called everyone a jive turkey. It was interesting.
Yeah.
I was in Texas too, so I guess there's a little bit just like a natural whiteness that just pervades you in Texas. So you can't escape that. But yeah, there's a black tinge. So I guess my answer is still brown.
That only took 30 minutes.
So I guess I'm white then again. Yeah, long-winded answers.
No, but Pranav, I feel like is the one person I look at. I'm like, oh, you might have picked Indian growing up.
Well, I mean, growing up, it was like a mix. Like my brother definitely chose black at a certain phase, right? And so I chose black, you know, and like we were really into hip hop music and stuff like that. But then at some point, he took a turn and he got really into like punk music. And then I didn't know what to do about it, but I, you know, but it's like I grew up around more white people, but I identified more as black. That's how you kind of survive in that environment. Because if you're Indian, it's like prison rules out there, right? You gotta join a gang.
Where is this?
Pennsylvania, Central PA.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, well, are you going to be white? Or are you going to be black? Because you can't just be Indian, right? Because then it's just like you're going to get fucking picked off. You're going to get shanked
By
in the
another Indian.
cafeteria.
Well,
I just feel like we didn't have our own thing as clearly back then.
No, we didn't.
It's a little bit clearer now.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it's partly because of us,
And
partly
so
because of
I
things that
didn't
we're
like.
doing.
I had to go back and forth. You know what I mean? But then eventually, as I was growing up, the culture started to meld a little bit more too, where white became black. Right, the way white people talk also is borrowing heavily from black culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at a certain
what I mean?
point. Namin
Namin is the biggest.
Right.
That's the entry level Ebonics for a lot of
So
people.
it's like that was kind of the evolution there.
Okay.
You know.
That wasn't a short answer either.
That was pretty short.
That was
Okay.
the same level of my answer.
Yours would be like, oh, that's a black. This is video game
The
music.
same
but-
level, the same
It's third
exact
grade. I
answer.
dressed up as Kanye.
But once
and-
upon a time, I was in Pennsylvania. Same
Okay.
shit. So you chose white, and then when did that
But even choose it, it's just like
given to you?
yes.
It's a sorting hat, basically. It's just
conferred
like,
upon
you're
you.
white,
Yeah.
right? So you came up in that. When was the time, because you're in Boston, Massachusetts, where you were like, feel the Indianness of it, or you feel like, oh shit, I'm a fucking brown guy in America. That I think every brown guy has that kind of moment where like, oh fuck, the brownness is kind of revealed when you stop trying to be white or black, and you're like, oh shit, I am brown.
I don't know if that happened as much. It was more. I feel like maybe in college I was around more brown people,
Right.
and you could do more like hang out with more brown people and do more brown stuff. But I don't know if it was like, oh, I'm a brown guy in a white man's world or that sort of thing.
I mean, I had brown friends, but I only saw them on the weekends. It was like weekend visitations. 'Cause we didn't go to the same schools, right?
Okay, yeah, same.
And then, so I didn't really hang out with a ton of Indians until here. But you're right, in the that you suspected I might have been Indian growing up.
Yeah.
and that like I did very much like was into a lot of cultural. I was into the religion a lot.
Ah.
So I would be like, I was a pretty popular kid, and like people knew me, and I was a class clown, and blah blah blah. But you'd open up my locker, I'd have like pictures of Hanuman and Ganesh and stuff, and people are like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck's going on with this
on?
guy?"
Monkey
What
You
is
know?
what does it mean to be into the religion for Hindu for you when you were a kid? Like
Well,
what
when I
is
was a kid, it was
looking
doing
at Hindu?
puja every day.
Okay.
Every day?
Every weekday
Damn.
at least, you know, after your shower, you will
Saturdays
go straight
for
to doing a
fucking.
puja. Yeah, you know, Saturdays I'm jacking off.
Saturday,
okay?
fucking bitch. I'm judging this shit.
Saturdays I'm going tantric. You know what
You're
I'm saying?
talking about-
But and I would like meditate and shit too when I was a kid a lot. Yeah, that was like a big
I didn't know
part
that.
of
I
it.
didn't know it was your
You know why? It's like I hated school, but I was like a highly literate kid, and a lot of that started by me reading like those old Rajagopalachari Mahabharats and Ramayans, which were like condensed but still pretty big, and they had a fairly sophisticated language. So I used to read those, and I used to just get really into a lot of the things I was reading. You know, it was like it would be like a white kid who's like obsessed with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
comes into school dressed as Aragorn or whatever the fuck. You
Right,
know?
right.
So,
Did
like,
you
that was
watch? Did you watch like the Ramayana
And I would,
series?
like, watch the series and
Yeah.
stuff
What's
too.
the series?
Yeah, I do. I remember being.
Oh.
I didn't know about this.
we've watched parts of it.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
old
This
ZTV
thing is a
shit.
behemoth
Oh,
in
right.
India.
It was a
Yeah.
massive.
Like things would shut down just so people could watch this thing.
Yeah, as they should have.
So good.
I remember like one winter growing up, we were snowed in. You know, this is like the least Indian way of watching it, but
Yeah.
as a family, we were all snowed in for
Yeah.
like 2 weeks straight. There was no school, so we just watched every episode of the Mahabharata.
How long is that? How many hours of
It was
movie?
like, that's like 90 hours. There's
Yeah,
like 90,
and it's all like,
93
you
episodes.
say like VHS, so it's
Yeah,
like
right.
it takes
We're
up the
talking- I mean,
entire shelf.
Exactly.
It is.
Exactly. There's like a room devoted to the
Global
tapes.
warming is happening because of all the VCRs. that were-
Exactly. These were like bootleg copies too.
Of course, yeah.
You know, so that we got into it like that, and then I was just like, I would do stuff like,
Bro, I remember seeing going to the Indian grocery store.
Yeah.
My mom would get like her Salman Khan movie, right? And we
Yeah.
always see every time this fucking random Indian uncle with like 19 Ramayana tapes. I realized this. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, and they wouldn't even ring him up. They're like, we'll get you next time. Like, we know you're going to come back. This is Ramayana, bitch. You're going to come back, bitch. So it was that level of like, oh shit.
my favorite thing about Bollywood movies is all of them, doesn't matter what the movie is, always starts with like the Gayatri Mantra or whatever, right? And then just very unceremoniously has like a picture, like a photocopied picture of like India
check.
Certificate Board
Yeah, what is that?
certifies this picture, and I'm like, well, when I start having that at
That's
the
true.
beginning of
Oh,
Mango
oh,
Bay
Mango Bay.
episodes,
That's funny. It's funny.
you know?
Certificate?
The certificate.
I always wondered what that was. Always.
This is like grainy footage.
Grainy
you can't
photo.
make it out at all.
No matter if it's 2021, it's still grainy.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they use the same filter or something. What is that? What is that?
It was awesome. I know they're using the same
Oh
picture
my
too
God,
from
right?
like 1942.
And then one guy who's like, Eros International. Who is that guy? Who had the voice of every VCR tape of it in history? Guy's making bank. He was the This Summer of India. Eros International.
Do you have a favorite character from the Ramayana?
Ramayana or Mahabharata?
Ramayana.
Hanuman.
Hanuman.
Hanuman is the
Of
best.
course, Hanuman's the
He was
man.
cool. That's the one I know.
We
You know what? Because he was witty. He was like very funny too.
he was
He was,
like
like,
a
known to
literal
be
clown.
that.
Did he have like dialogue? Like they had like quotes and like Hanuman said.
Hanuman in the actual Ramayana is like he's known as like a Sanskrit scholar. So the way he speaks,
He's a king.
He's extremely.
read
He's not
this
a
too?
king.
I've read.
You read all the whole
He's not a
thing.
king.
I thought he's a king.
His
He's the king.
brother or cousin Vali was the king. Right? So he had orchestrated. He was involved in like the court
Can
politics.
we remove that
Take
from?
off
the
one
bananas.
Indian piece of clothing every time he fucks
of the
something up.
bananas, but no, he was actually not, and he was but he was like very witty.
That's
He was,
fascinating.
he was extremely witty, and he was very funny, and he was always playing
Hanuman
tricks,
looks like a monkey, right?
So he burned all of
Hanuman's
Lanka
a
with
monkey.
his tail. Yeah, he was a
He's
monkey.
a monkey looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a monkey-looking motherfucker. That's what he said. He's a monkey-looking motherfucker, right?
Y'all know. Y'all know.
Clearly picked black.
You know, come on out there. I'll
black.
be a show
Y'all
doing his thing.
Man, how y'all gonna
Give me the seat on the 311.
How y'all gonna have a tail and be fucking on a tail? You're right. I guess I am BET Ramayana.
BET presents the Ramayana.
Russell Simmons presents Ramayana. How you gonna motherfucking steal your wife and then fuck a whole
He was
nation?
a monkey-looking motherfucker, wasn't he?
I'm gonna fuck Sheba and
That
then
is literally how you said it, and that is amazing. He was a monkey-looking motherfucker.
And ironic. I wasn't saying it to
I know.
affectate.
It was not. It was totally natural.
How that ooh ah? You look at this. I think you have our answer. I'm black.
Did you watch those tapes?
Yeah. So we had a couple at home that we'd rent them, but then we had a couple at home that were my favorites.
Yeah.
Kumbhakarn, which is
Kumbhakarn,
yes,
yeah.
That's a Bengali pronunciation. Interesting.
and then also Meghnad, which is like Ravan's brother.
Right.
But
Kumbhakarn is also his brother.
He's also a brother. He's a giant,
Yeah.
and the way they wake him up is by like bringing food
Carting
out
a bunch of food.
and
I gotta read this,
and then
dude.
like he like sniffs it and then he wakes up. Yeah,
fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah. So we always liked him, but Meghnad was like
Yer.
a brother, and I loved. He's like really sadistic. And like the most powerful, but I was a younger brother, so I liked him. I also like Lakshman
you
for
like
the
the
same
conniving
reason.
one. You like the-
Ravan's?
Yeah.
I thought Ravan only had 2 brothers and a sister. I thought it was
I mean, you
Vibhishan,
will,
who was the
you
good
will
one.
be able to know this better than I.
I might be wrong about this.
Okay,
though. I think
so he
could
might be
right.
like a somewhere in this kingdom.
Yeah. He
but
was someone with a mustache.
he's yeah.
They all get mustaches back then. That's fucking fascinating. You went to Chinmay Mission? You went to like
No.
not that. Okay.
No. We would watch that, but like in terms of religiosity, we weren't. I don't know. We had a guru that would come once a year, and we'd all sing bhajans.
Yeah.
Okay. In your house.
In our house.
That's fucking cool.
And then after we'd like every evening we'd sing
Kirtan.
not we would just do like the archana.
Yeah.
And then when I would after a shower, because I was like a disciple of the guru, we would have this like form of meditation that I would do as well.
What was his name?
We just call him guru.
Dylan?
I mean, I think it's like Mohanandas something.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
not like a big thing.
No, but you know,
Jake?
so many aren't. Because I remember there used to be a guru who would come into town once a year in our community. And
Yeah.
my parents weren't necessarily devotees of his, but I remember a good family friend of ours were. He would come in once a year. This guy had dreads like down past
Holy
his
fuck.
feet.
Hell yeah.
He stunk like piss.
Hell
like
yeah, dude.
hardcore. But he would just come in and like hold court. And then other Indian uncles who were like, thought themselves to be
Yeah,
the scientists
yeah.
would be like, what if God was one of us, huh? Just a slob like one of us. Like, who's the guru now?
Rubbing their belly
You'd have
a little
these
bit.
kinds of discourses happening then.
The alphaness of a brown uncle is always hilarious to see.
Yeah,
especially
which
in
is true beta-ness,
religious-
actually.
The actual beta. What is this? Same with Muslim uncles. When there's someone has to lead the prayer. Every
Yeah.
time you pray in Islam, you have to do the azan, or basically the qiyamat, and you basically get everyone going for the first prayer. So you'll see these fucking guys jostling.
Right.
For it's like fucking kabaddi, but for God, you know. So like, I got this. They're the front of the fucking okay. I got. And 2 guys will start like la ilaha illallah, like auctioning off their own soul. Very fascinating. I mean, it comes in all forms. These fucking uncles who like, I'm the best God guy. Your parents, Bengalis, in my opinion, are not the most religious of the
really?
bunch that I've met.
My experience, Hindu Bengalis are like very Hindu.
In Texas, not so.
Oh,
but
yeah?
Let me
Yeah.
ask.
I think you get a range. I think I agree though. Like I always associate like the South or even like Gujaratis more with religiousness.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did,
my grandfather was like atheist.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That era during that like the 40s in Calcutta, they were like really.
Yeah.
Naxalites were coming up, right? There was like some
But
shit.
you know,
going
so
on.
much Hindu revivalism came out of Bengal. Right?
Interesting.
Vivekananda, all
The
those guys,
Renaissance, right?
Yogananda, all
Yeah,
those
yeah.
guys, they
Yeah.
all came out of Bengal. All of them.
My dad loves those guys. So my dad is like a little atheist Muslim guy.
Yeah.
He hates all Muslims, and he's like, I like the Indian Bengalis. They're the best. The thinkers.
Well, did you guys have any equivalent? Like, we're talking here about like watching Ramayana and Mahabharata. Did
Yeah.
you guys ever have like a tea? Because you guys, there's no idolatry with you guys. So
No.
You can't just have your gods as
Yeah.
like superheroes.
Because the
or
moment you say
whatever.
he's cool, everyone slaps you. Like, hey, no one is. Look at that flower. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Only Muhammad is
was
cool.
so lit in last
Only
night's episode.
Muhammad
Kill
is lit.
him.
Yeah, kill him. What are you
Kill
talking
him.
about? That's why all Muslim art is all geometric and shaped because you can't have any pictures
people.
of faces. It's idolatry. It's
You know what I love about Muslim art is that it's all geometric patterns, and they always, I'm serious, is that they always put one flaw because only God can make perfection.
Sure. Also, if you look,
I think it's a beautiful thing.
How full of themselves.
No.
To think that, like, otherwise this thing is perfect.
Right. Also,
But
if
for
you
this
if
crack.
you walk back from one of those tesseracts, it just says "fuck gay people." You gotta watch out.
It's like a magic eye.
Yeah, you have to lean left and right.
Fuck gay. Fuck gay. They are very, very intense about that. You know, you heard about the Bengali communal violence that happened where one Muslim guy snuck a fucking Quran on the ground in Bangladesh, and fucking 19 Muslims started like fucking dishing out justice to Hindus. It's fucking,
Started burning down temples and
very excitable and not in a fucking cool way. I want to ask you this. Sorry, I know I'm euphemizing all this shit. It was not chill, bro.
Not a cool thing.
But did you ever feel, I don't know if this might not even interact with anybody. Have you ever experienced discrimination from a Muslim Bangladeshi? Because I know a lot of my parents or our parents' culture, they hate on Hindu Bengalis.
Right.
And I'm wondering if you ever came across a little bit of that vitriol, a little bit of that tension.
No, we doled it out, but we were.
yeah, we were giving it out.
Because y'all are smarter.
On our side of the border.
And y'all are better
Right.
roasters. Y'all are smarter at doing it. So
No, the only thing that's even like kind of even similar to that was when me, Kunal, Tushar, and Akash were doing this India Day show. We were just like handing out flyers, and it was at some Indian event, and then or some brown event. I guess it should be brown event. And then we handed a flyer to a guy, and we're like, it's India Day or Independence Day show, and he looked at it, and he's like, I'm Pakistani. It's not my Independence Day, and then he gave it back, and we were just like, whoa.
he said it in a redneck accent. Too. That ain't my Independence Day, bitch.
It was a
I ain't
white
doing
guy.
that shit. Yeah, what? She's
Like real confused.
That's fucking weird. Kind of like fucking weird.
I mean, it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
You just be like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go.
And he
Yeah,
lives
exactly.
in
Yeah.
India. This guy.
No, he was just a weirdo.
Yeah.
This is in America.
This is in America.
Oh, what
Yeah,
the fuck? He's
yeah,
like,
yeah. This is in like a park here.
he's on like a Karachi 8chan, just fucking
One of those guys, you know.
Karachi 8chan,
8chan or whatever.
which is just Google in Pakistan.
But that's, coming up with, I mean, in India, they have a lot, like if you do comedy in India, you might have, I remember going to India and being like, this is not a safe place to do any movie jokes. This is not a safe place to do anything fun. You
Yeah.
didn't feel that in some of the rooms in India? Like, oh, there's some fucking violence a brewing here.
No, because when I was doing shows out there, I was doing it with the guys, and everybody coming out to those shows were already like people who knew we were American.
Sure.
So it was like a self-selection there.
Right.
I think if we had just done like a random show, maybe then I would have been like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna cross here, but.
In Delhi is where I encountered it more.
Yeah.
So Mumbai, of course, it's fucking high flying. These fuckers party.
Yeah.
They went to Delhi, and I'm like, there are some shows where I'm like, this is one of the hardest shows of my life. I just cannot. Anyone over 35 in Delhi doesn't fuck with anything.
Mumbai is a more cosmopolitan place.
Yeah.
It's like a more international.
Delhi was brutal.
city.
Delhi had some brutal shows.
Yeah.
Like because of
The Hindustani nature of it is very, very Hindustani, very, very like India.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Don't talk about that PM.
The fucking guy.
Yeah.
You know, don't say cow. Don't even say
How
cow.
do you say? Yeah.
You know, very intense people.
Yeah, you guys are pussies, by the way. Just want to let you know.
You. I can say cow. I can say cow in my set. All right? Jesus. I go cow tipping sometimes. Fuck you.
You guys go cow tipping too. You tip them right over the border so other people can eat them. Shut the fuck up, bitch. That's coming from a Hindu who's down with it, who hates Muslims.
I think you just became Muslim now. That was.
I think I am,
hell
yeah.
dude. Welcome to the party.
Allahu Akbar. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. Death to Jews.
To Jews. Any final words to a person trying to get on Mango Bay?
Anybody trying to I don't even know what to look at. Anybody trying to get into this, just know that they're planning something. You can't plan ahead. They're 2 steps ahead of you. Just accept it.
Even being on here feels like he doesn't trust it yet.
This will never even air.
He's not even on, actually.
Then
Welcome
I'm
to
like,
hell,
hey, how come
bitch.
that episode didn't drop? Like, what episode?
Yeah, who
Like,
are you? What's your name? Hi, I'm Usama. What the fuck? Dude, we love you. We think you're hilarious, dude, and
Thank
we're
you, thank
fans.
you.
Thanks for
And
doing it.
coming up. Dude.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Come back
Oh, yeah.
again.
Okay.
Please, and be Muslim this time. I don't want to do 2 Hindu Bengali episodes. Jesus.
Yeah.
We love you, man.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Bye.
Thanks for the samosas. Hell yeah.
Do you have anything you want to plug real quick?
When is this going out?
Yeah,
Probably
week or
3
two.
weeks.
Yeah.
I guess by that time, doing Philly New Year's Eve. So.
Oh shit!
If
Yeah, we'll get about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow Alingon at what's your social?
Alingon Mitra.
Alingon Mitra.
Yeah.
Mitra.
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 Hey, Mitra. Fucking, we love you.
We love you guys.
Patreon.
Remember to subscribe to the Patreon. Subscribe across channels: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Rate us a review on Apple. We love you guys. Thank you.
Come again. Here we go, dude.
Your mango day.